But I would order so much, and then at the window, either once I had pulled up or when I was ordering at the speaker, I would pretend there was either somebody in the back seat or I was on the phone with somebody because there were other people that was going to share in this meal. Don't you be thinking it's all for me just because I'm 355 pounds, buddy. Between what we've lived through and what our day jobs demand, we've spent some serious time researching neuroscience. The pattern we keep seeing is the way we think shapes the way we behave. And over time, those behaviors shape our outcomes, often before we even realize we've made a choice.
So in that research of neuroscience, it opened the door to neuroplasticity, habit loops, stress responses, microdecisions, all the brainy stuff that explains why just try harder is a trash strategy. In this lab, we're rewiring habits one experiment at a time.
Welcome to I² Lab. Fat things we did and may still want to do. This one, so I actually don't do this anymore because I don't catch myself at drive-thrus. If I'm at a drive-thru, it's probably a Chick-fil-A drive-thru, or I'm not getting as much as I did before. But this is when you're ordering way too much at a drive-thru. It's for yourself. Okay, so picture me, 355 pounds. I'm the only one in the car, and I'm at a drive-thru, and I'm ordering enough for probably a family of 4. No joke. No joke. I mean, if I'm at the McDonald's drive-thru, it's 2 value meals, or it's a value meal plus, a couple cheeseburgers or nuggets. Like, it's not just a cheeseburger, a small fry, and a bottle of water. Or I don't even know what I would get today if I went through McDonald's. It wouldn't be McDonald's I would go through. It would be a Big Mac bowl or something. I think you could get those now where they don't do the bun. Yeah, or you could just make it yourself. Yeah. You could get a salad and then a grilled chicken and then, do something with it. You could concoct something that would fit you, what you're trying to do. But I would order so much at these drive-thrus. White Castle was another one. I mean, it was like 2 double cheeseburgers and then 2 of their chicken sliders and then their mozzarella sticks and then a sack of fries and a sack of fish nibblers if fish nibblers was a thing at the time, and then a large drink. Like, it was, I think I put it into the Weight Watchers app once and it was 110 points. But I would order so much, and then at the window, either once I had pulled up or when I was ordering at the speaker, I would pretend there was either somebody in the back seat or I was on the phone with somebody because there were other people that was going to share in this meal. Don't you be thinking it's all for me just because I'm 355 pounds, buddy. First of all, nobody cares in a drive-thru. I used to work a drive-thru, a Kentucky Fried Chicken drive-thru. I never thought once if there was one person who was heavy in the car that ordered more than what one person should be eating, that I was like, oh my God, I bet they're going to go over and eat all this over in the corner of the parking lot.
Your customer 300, they don't care.
We don't give a rip.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually super heavy when I worked there. Funnily enough, working around food all day didn't cause any of that.
You don't want to eat the food that you smell all day.
No,
it's
not really.
Not
really. Plus, you're on your. I mean, I would work open to closes 15 hours a day on my feet. I mean, I was also in my 20s, so whatever. But so pretending that there's more than one person in the car or there's people at home that are helping you eat it. I've also done this and of course, COVID completely changed the game around this. But this is like when you would back before you would order it online without having to see anybody. Because COVID made it so that all you had to do was go onto an app, order everything you wanted. Leave it at the door. They've got no idea. There could be 6 people inside, and you don't ever have to see anybody. But this was back before when you had to actually talk to somebody or call it in. Yeah. Like when I would call in food, like at a Chinese place, because I would order so much, I'd be like, oh, and you guys want, you guys want the chicken fried rice? Yeah, okay, and I'll get some egg roll. You guys want some egg roll? Egg rolls? You guys want some egg roll? Okay. So it was pretending that there's more than just you that's going to be eating it, even though you're totally about to eat it all by yourself. or it's enough for a family of 6 and it's you and your husband that are
Yes,
going to eat it.
yes.
That also happened too.
Good topic. We've done this.
What have you guys done?
Ranch. I love ranch. I'm a ranch connoisseur.
Agreed.
I rank restaurants on the quality of their ranch.
We've joked about opening an app that's ranking ranch
That
at
would
restaurants.
be amazing.
I think we should do it.
There are a lot of ranch dressing fans out there.
I think it's a Midwest thing.
It probably is, but it would be a hot commodity in the Midwest, I think.
We'd be super popular.
Be huge.
Maybe there is one.
Oh, I need to look this up.
Okay, continue.
So we have a local restaurant called Shallows. It honestly, if you are old enough to remember the TV show Cheers, it's just like Cheers.
It is just like Cheers.
Everybody knows your name in there. It's all bar food. But it's
really good.
It's really good though.
And we could do really good there. That teriyaki grilled chicken's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have great salads and stuff too. Their ranch dressing is amazing. Oh. They put a ton of Parmesan cheese in it. It's just really good.
Hands down the best in Indiana.
Yep. It's house made, so it's very delicious. And you can buy it by multiple sizes, but you can buy it by...
I'm laughing because we know this.
Yes.
It's the fact that we know that you can get it in an excessive quantity should tell you everything you need to know.
And I've actually asked how they make it too. So I actually know how to make it at home. So buttermilk and a shit ton of Parmesan, which a shit ton of Parmesan was what they told me to put it in. That was the amount they told me to put it in.
Fun fact, Parmesan is the highest protein of the cheeses.
Well, see, it's actually not bad for you.
Just getting your protein in.
Exactly. So you can buy it by the pint. So by a 2-cup container. And at the time it was like, it's gone up in price now.
It was like $5 or something.
Yeah, it was like $4.50 or $5.
Well, when we first started asking for it in a large quantity, like at first the waitress was like, "Yeah, I think we could do that."
Yeah,
and they were like, "We didn't know what to charge you, so we just charged you like $4 or $5."
Yeah,
and we were like, "Okay, charge us whatever you want."
And then I think we were just like the ranch people at that point.
What's funny though is whenever I was doing that, whenever I was, and I haven't got that in a long time, and that might actually be a good meal prep for a week. I was always on a weight loss journey when I was getting the ranch.
Yeah.
So even though it sounds like a fat thing we did was to get large buckets of ranch, it was actually in the pursuit of losing weight.
Exactly. It's fine.
Because I would go home and I would divvy them up in the souffle cups for the week, in the quantity that I needed. And I would have ranch for my salads for the week.
I could totally overeat ranch. Don't get me wrong. I could drink this stuff, and I probably have drinking this stuff. But
it's so good.
I honestly, I have purchased ranch from Shallows recently, and I am on a weight loss journey right now. So it's totally fine. It's legit. I have gone in and purchased 3 of these pint containers before. And I was embarrassed at the time because I'm like, who is going to purchase? I'm by myself because Adam will just drop me off, and you
have to go up to the bar to get it.
Yeah, you have to go up to the bar to get it. And there's like a bunch of just grizzly old men at the bar. Like they're all just by themselves. And I'm just
a bunch of norms.
Yeah. And
from Cheers.
They're
for those
sweet.
who don't know Cheers, Norm is always at the bar.
Norm and Cliff. There's a bunch of Norms and Cliffs up at the bar. And they're all sweet, I mean, they're great. They're great. And so I'm just this little redheaded girl. Little is interesting, but I'm just this girl at the bar, and I'm like, can I have 3 pints of ranch? And then I just proceed to make up a story because this bartender cares. And I'm like, my elderly neighbor really loves your ranch and she can't get out. So I'd really like to bring her a container of ranch as well.
So one's for me, one's for the neighbor, and then one's for the sickly kid down this. Like nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
But we felt like we had to make up a story.
Yes. And honestly,
because we're a fat girl getting a bunch of ranch.
Doesn't matter.
Or a fat girl getting 2 sacks of whatever it was.
Yes. Do you remember the time we were working together at a different company, So we worked together at two companies.
Yeah.
This was a previous employer, and we the mother is calling. If you guys heard a vibrating noise, we worked together at a previous employer, and we were on lunch, and we went to McDonald's. She remembers.
I do.
And it was Lent season.
There are so many fish fillets had that day. I'm not even. The story's bloomed into something, but
yeah.
I think we had 4.
A piece.
I think.
We're
I'm not
together.
joking because it was like two for.
It's 2 for 4, I think, at the time.
It was 2 for 4.
This is a while ago.
This is over 10 years ago. Yeah.
Like how we both said that at the same time.
In the same
Jinx.
tone.
Yeah, Jinx. Over 10 years ago. And we were like, of course, we just went the 2 of us. We would never invite people to go with us.
No, they can't see how much we eat.
No.
Nor can they tell from the size of my body how much I eat, but.
Yeah, they would never guess.
God.
I'm sure we ate it in the car, like facing some bushes.
Yeah.
So nobody could tell what we were eating. I'm pretty sure we purchased 4 apiece.
I think it was because they were 2 for 4. We didn't have just 2.
In our defense, I don't think we ate all 4.
Don't be ridiculous. I think we ate all 4. We're not quitters.
I remember being like uncomfortably full.
That's why I think we ate all 4, because we were so sick. Like we felt so bloated and inflamed, and just like we were gonna. We've done another podcast where we lay down to eat food. If we had an option to lay down,
we probably did.
We might have put the seat back a little bit, but we couldn't go back to work and lay down. We had to work.
Yeah.
It was normally during this time of year when the March Madness is going on.
Yes.
And when we would come back to work, what was cool about this place is it was kind of like the room we were in was like almost like a warehouse.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but the ceilings were really tall. And they would have like a projection screen of the basketball games playing on a white wall because the walls were so tall. Like they were tall, so you could use a whole wall to project the game on. And it was a call center type environment where we had to either be on chat to help customers or on the phone. And it was awesome when we were on chat because we could just all sit at a table and then watch but the lights were always off. And I always felt more comfortable in that environment when the lights were off because I felt like people couldn't see me as well. Just so stupid, which is so stupid. But I remember coming back, and I think it was during that time because it was during this time of year.
Yeah.
So the lights were off. So nobody could see how bad I felt or how bloated I was because the lights were off. God, that was a good one. I also did this. I did the ranch thing for sure, and then I've done the elderly neighbor thing with Jersey Mike's because you could go to Jersey Mike's. I don't know if you could still do this now.
I don't know.
But you could, it's almost like a deli counter. You could go in there and you can order a couple pounds of roast beef, which we loved their roast beef, and their meats are amazing. And in fact, you can do really good. Like you could get any of their subs as a bowl. And people don't know that. I was in line the other day there and I was like, yeah, I'll take that sub, but I just want it as a bowl. And the person behind me was like, you could get these as a bowl? Like it was like, I just opened Pandora's box for them. I was like, yeah, you can get any of them as a bowl. It's awesome. And you can get double the meat. So you can get like 60 grams of protein if you get the roast beef, blah, blah, blah. And I used to go in there, and it was just 2 pounds or 3 pounds of roast beef. Like it was something pretty normal. But I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a pound is for me, and at least a pound is for my neighbor that can't get out. Like, what is going on in our lives? Where first of all, people care that you're getting an excessive amount of food for this neighbor. And I'm sure they were like, oh, this fat girl would come in and she'd always tell me about this neighbor that she was getting all this meat for or ranch for. Like,
you're such a kind person.
Pretending someone else was going to be eating this, and it wasn't just you. But I don't even know that I would do that today at this size.
No, because you're not embarrassed. Is it embarrassment? Obviously, I mean,
I think it is.
Yeah.
No, that's what this is about. I mean, this one is fat things we did, but it's about trying to reduce the amount that's visually outwardly seen. Like this isn't all for me.
Yeah.
This is for me and 4 other people, or this is for me and somebody else. I'm kind enough to get this for somebody else.
Yeah.
Don't you dare think this is all for me.
Don't judge me.
Like they can't tell I'm 355 pounds.
Yeah.
So this week, my personal trainer asked to see my logs. And he does this from time to time, which I'm like, I'm fine with.
Yeah.
And I'm of the opinion that my calories even out for the week. So, but I don't do crazy extremes typically, but there are some days where I do catch myself eating more than I should. So I will back it off the next day. So for an average of calories for like a week or 10 days, it'll average out for me on what I should be having. And where I'm at like right now is right around, I don't want to say the amount of calories because I don't want people to think they should have this amount of calories. I'm way more than I was in weight loss mode, and I am weightlifting regularly. So my calories are high for what I would ever think that I would be able to maintain this weight at and eat that amount of calories. So for a week, they average out. But he's looking at my logs, and there's a day that I have 3,100 calories. And he looks at me and he's like, why did you eat 3,100 calories this day? And I'm like, it was a hard day. But the next day it's like, 1,300 or 1,500 calories, whatever it was. So when you look at the week as a whole and it averaged out.
Yeah.
I still was in my calories.
Responsible.
I'm being responsible overall. I didn't have 3,100 calories 7 days straight. That would have been a problem. Plus, I would have felt like trash, and I didn't feel good about that day. I think it ended up being in protein bars because those suckers can be really good. Yeah. And they honestly, some of them are like freaking candy bars, and that tends to light me up. So I have to be careful with the protein bars, how satiating, how I treat them. So those can be, sometimes I have to cool it on those completely because I can find myself getting I pulled to those. I start thinking about them more than I should. I'm like, okay, we need to pull back on this a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but I found myself, as soon as I handed him the phone, I wanted to bring this up because when I handed the phone, I immediately felt embarrassed because I didn't want him to see that day that I had that one day out of 30.
Immediately popped in your head.
It immediately popped in my head, and I was like, no, if anybody needs to see it, it is him. Now, I haven't gained any weight. It's been fine, but he still honed in on that because he just knows. He's like, you went through a pattern of restriction. You were in a calorie deficit, which you needed to be to lose the weight, no doubt. But you were in that for a very extended period of time, for over 18 months. And then even in maintenance, I didn't know where my footing was going to be. So I still was in like a calorie deficit way compared to what I am now. So he was the one that was like, we've got to get you out of this diet mindset. We've got to get you eating different things that you have. I mean, like an apple, for the love of God, an orange, a banana, And in fact, I've come to a realization, like one of the words I get a little like I'm upset that people treat differently is carbs, because carbs are not bad.
Right.
But carbs is just this like blanket term that we put to this food group, and that we're like, I don't have carbs.
Like sugar equals carbs.
Yes, that's not true.
Yeah.
No, there is highly horrible carbs that you really isn't going to be satiating or nutrient dense for your body. And then there's an apple, which is a carb.
Yeah.
So I kind of my eyes start to twitch a little bit when people are like, carbs. But what's interesting is your body is, when you eat carbs and you are overweight and obese as I was, your body will use those carbs to feed your fat. But if you have reduced the fat and you are starting to do weightlifting and build the muscle, and you start to you do need to reduce the carbs, I think, to an extent, maybe not completely, do away with them in the way that I did. I think I was eating too little of carbs. Maybe for a few months would have been fine, but for 18 months, I don't think it was the most healthy thing I could have done for myself. I would do it a little differently now, knowing some of the things I know. But here we are. So live and learn. When you do lose the body fat and you are building muscle and you do introduce carbs again, your body will use those carbs to build the muscle. So your body will use the carbs to fuel whatever you kind of have going on in a sense. And I'm not explaining the science in the best way possible.
No, it makes sense.
But when you have carbs and you're obese, as I was at 355, it's going
what you have
to
going
feed
on.
the fat because there's not much muscle
You're not building muscle.
No.
Right.
But now that I'm resistance training and I'm starting to, I'm scared to death to add back in carbs. I cannot tell you how scared I was to add them because I'm like, I'm going to gain all my weight back.
Right.
He wants me to eat how many calories and how many carbs? Like I was having 10 net carbs a day.
I remember when you were going through weight loss mode and you would not eat an apple.
No, I didn't have an apple for 2 years.
And I remember because you and I would walk every morning. I lived on, this will make me sound so bougie and rich. I'm not. I lived on a golf course.
You're such a snob.
I know. It's a private golf course too.
It was.
but I'm not. My house just happened to be
the 13th hole.
On the 13th hole, yeah. But no, I didn't belong to this private golf course.
But we walked on it every day with our dogs.
I know. It was so much fun. We would walk every morning. It's just therapy. We would talk and talk and talk. And you would tell me, like, I don't eat apples. And
you would ask me, like, what is it that you're doing?
What are you doing? Like,
no
how's it
potatoes,
going?
no cheese.
Like, and I'd be like, okay, and we would talk about the apple thing a lot because I could not, I was like, Lori, I was not trying to pressure you to eat apples.
No, and I never felt like you were.
Yeah, I was not trying to change your mind, but I was just like, I could not wrap my head around the apple thing because I remember back in the day, like when we did Weight Watchers years ago, and we laughed about it. Like it was just like, I remember because it was flipped. Our story had flipped because I was being anal retentive about logging an apple. Do you remember this?
Yes.
And I was like,
because you had to put small, medium, or large apple at the time. Yeah.
Right. And I was like, well, and I was being OCD about it. And I was like, well, I think this is a medium apple. But I don't know, maybe it's a large apple. And I was like, overthinking it. And I was trying to log it. And you were like about to slap me. And you were like, Lindsay,
it's a damn apple.
You're not fat because you ate a goddamn apple. Just log it. Like the apple is not making you fat. And I just looked at you while we were walking and I was like, Lori, the apple is not making you fat.
I know.
Like,
I needed to hear it.
I was like, eat a goddamn apple.
But I didn't.
But you didn't.
And that was I needed to stick to the plan.
Yeah.
That was
and
I'm
glad you did. I mean, it worked for you. I'm glad you did, but
it was a point of responsibility that I needed to have. I'm not, and so, and it's the same thing with, there's a lot of people that are like, I can never have bread. I could never have bread again, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you probably can. It's not going to be necessarily the rice or the bread or the potatoes. It is typically the bread with the half a cup of peanut butter that you put on it and butter. Butter. Because who does a peanut butter without butter? If you've never tried that, you probably should. It's amazing. You put butter and you put peanut butter and you put jelly on it.
It doesn't stick to the roof of your mouth.
And it's a 900 calorie peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
It's how our mother made it when we were growing up.
And the same thing with rice. Rice without butter on it. Isn't that great?
I know. That's why I don't really care for rice.
I mean, but and it's the fat added to the carb that typically is the light up point for a lot of people. But if you just had a piece of toast without any butter on it, I'm telling you, you're not going to probably overeat on it. Mm-hmm. It's less likely that you will.
Yeah. And
today I have apples, and I encourage our group to have an apple. And I do weigh the apple because there actually is a pretty big calorie difference between a small apple and a large apple.
Yeah.
It's not like insane. It's not like a 400 calorie difference, but it could be 100 calories.
If you eat an apple every day, it's going to add up.
And it does. Yeah. And it's actually a fair bit of carbs. Mm-hmm. But I'm not loving any plan that completely rules out food groups.
Oh, yeah. You know how I feel about that. I'm the same way.
I think it can perpetuate binging and restricting and this sense of just lack. So there's this, when you're not, forbiddenness around food. There's this, I don't know if we've talked about it before, and I've talked about it with the group before. It's called the 5 candy bar rule. Have I told you about this?
No.
The idea is that you buy 5 candy bars and you keep them in your house. And let's take this, maybe it's not candy bars for you. Whatever it is that you haven't had, maybe it's apples, maybe it's oranges, but it's 5 of something. So there is enough of it so that you don't feel like you're in a state of lack of something. But the idea is that you have 5 candy bars. Let's just stick to the candy bar thing. You eat a candy bar, you replace the candy bar. You eat 2 candy bars, you replace the 2 candy bars. So you always have the 5 candy bars around. The idea is that you never are going without it. There never is this season of that you have a lack of something or that it's forbidden. It's there at any time that you want it. It's never not going to be there because typically we'll think, I have to eat all this now because tomorrow I can't eat any of this. And so I'm going to just go ahead and go crazy. And I'm going to have 3,100 calories that I don't want my personal trainer that I'm going to be embarrassed for him to see that I had 4 freaking protein bars that were 800 calories that day. But I got protein in, so that's the mind game that I'll do with myself. And then I'll even it out. But I found that I journaled about it that night, and I was embarrassed that he saw that, and he called me out on it, and he should have. He was like, "We're not there yet, are we?" And he knows. He was like, "You're not," and I'm not ready to be on my own. I know that. I don't know that I ever will be fully. He was like, we're better, but we're not. He was like, you had such a long period of restriction. He goes, we're getting you out of that. He's like, but maybe you do need a little bit more calories because he doesn't want me to feel like of the restriction.
Yeah.
So the whole 5 candy bar thing is that you would always replace it, that you're never going to go without. So there's never this feeling of something being forbidden or lack. Now, maybe it's not candy bars that you have in your house.
That's dangerous.
It could be very dangerous.
I could eat 5 candy bars and then replace the 5 candy bars.
And then maybe you do, but then maybe
eat 5 candy bars and replace 5.
But what would be interesting is so Randy and I did do this.
Yeah.
And we didn't eat all 5, but we had 3. And we actually did candy bars that were like sugar-free and, so I'm sure they weren't the best quality for us because we didn't want to eat 5 outrageous bars, which by the way, one outrageous bar is 400 calories. We wanted if we were going to go face down in 5 candy bars, we wanted them to be at least proteins or less sugar. So we did. We took 5 and they were like basically candy bars, but they were protein bars that were chocolate dipped and blah, 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 and tasted amazing. And I think I ate 4 of them one time and I replaced all 4. And then the next time I went to the cupboard to get one and I was like, I don't really want it. But once you've kind of done it, it's there. It didn't have it's like I needed to do it once. Maybe I needed to do it twice.
Yeah.
But after like my brain knew it's there for you if you want it. I could step back and say, do I really want it? It's going to be there in 5 minutes. It's going to be there in 10 minutes. It's going to be there in an hour. It's going to be there tomorrow. It's going to be there next week. It's going to be there in a month. It's never not going to be there. So do you really want it right now? How much of it do we really want in the moment because it's only there for the moment?
Yeah.
That's what's behind the 5 candy bar rule. I'm not saying everybody should do that. But sometimes you need to tell yourself that it's
not off limits.
It's not off limits.
Yeah. Interesting.
Even though maybe it isn't the best thing for you.
Yeah.
So I was embarrassed for him to see that I had eaten more than I should have on the one day. Yes, my calories evened out. No, I didn't gain weight. The scale was up the next day, as you would think when you've overconsumed on those calories.
I want to stick with that embarrassed piece because I feel like that is a tie in to all of these stories. We lied about, and I'm going to call it little Timmy in the backseat because I feel like we called
little Timmy, you want that? You want extra bag of, you want 2 more fish fillet? Yeah, let's go ahead and get 4.
Because I feel like I've been with you before in the car, and I feel like it was always little Timmy.
It was always little Timmy.
In the backseat. Little Timmy, and it was always embarrassment is why it was the neighbor or little Timmy, or in this case, it was your trainer looking at the log. It was always an embarrassment piece. And it reminded me of, it's from Dr. David Rock. It's actually from a group called Neuroleadership, and it's called the SCARF model. That sounds crazy. So sorry, it's called SCARF.
Scarf. Yeah.
SCARF.
We could put it in the show notes as well.
I'll do that. That's good. Good idea. And it stands for, it's an acronym. It stands for status, certainty, autonomy, relatedness, and fairness. Essentially, it's an acronym to describe a way us humans relate to each other. So the brain overall, which we've talked about the brain a lot, so I'm just going to go into a little bit of science here because we've talked about this a lot, neuroplasticity and all that, so just want to bring that back in. We've talked about the brain being social before.
Yep.
Talked about that a lot in our class. And just like with anything, back in the day as humans, we want to be a part of
The tribe.
a group. Yeah,
The tribe. Don't kick me out of the tribe.
It's a part of survival.
I think that we think that too when we're not going to order the things or eat the things people are eating. And it's just at a table of 4 people, but these are your people. These are the girls you've had wine with. These are the girls you've had Taco Tuesday with. So are they going to think, what are they going to think of me if I don't experience this with them? Am I now going to be kicked out of the tribe?
Yes. Yeah. And even from even from the beginning, like our survival depended on connection, like whether for protection, reproduction. I mean, back then we were thinking of those kinds of things or even staying alive. So like we don't thrive on isolation. So that's why you're thinking of that group table of 4 girls. Like, I don't want to be isolated. And when you have that embarrassing moment, like, I don't want to be, you don't want your trainer, he's not going to isolate you.
No.
But you don't want your personal trainer to isolate you.
No. But now maybe he's now concerned that I'm going to overeat.
Right.
Now he's like, not my girl. Not Lori.
Yeah.
I know she can rein this in, but now I can see that she didn't that one day.
Yeah.
Now I'm like,
you don't want him to think differently of you.
Right.
Right. So relationships are natural habitat. Like they really are this community. Think of that, right? This is so important to us. So this need to belong, it's not just emotional. So we might think this is emotional for us, and it is, but it's not just emotional. It's actually hardwired into our brains, even our genes. So it's actually a human need for us to be connected. So that's the really interesting thing. And the cool thing about the SCARF model that I wanted to talk about is that the acronym that I talked about, if we look into that as we're dealing with other humans, it helps us deal with the human brain, the ability to go towards something as a reward or avoid something as a danger or a threat, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So in this case, if you were to flip it around, let's say, and you were your personal trainer, like put yourself in his shoes, and I'll just flip it. And there's no really reason to do this besides just to think about it, right? Because you were in his shoes. But let's say you were in his shoes and you were to ask to see your log, and you were to have a threatening reaction to that because you didn't want him to see it. Like he would have had to have figured out a way to deal with you, right? So that SCARF model is a way for him to
Deal with
out,
me?
Yeah, how to deal with you. And I know that's a bad way to put that.
Okay, so say what the acronym, it's SCARF, and what does each letter mean?
Yep, so status is the S. It's basically our relative importance to others. So it's our status within a group, essentially. Certainty is our ability to predict the future. So it's our certainty within a group. Autonomy, which we know all about autonomy. It's our sense of control over events. Relatedness, so we feel secure and safe with others. And then fairness. We perceive about fair exchanges in a group. So you probably didn't feel threatened with him because of the relationship that you have with him.
Yes, but I also don't want to let him down.
Right.
And I feel like I'm the one he can always count on and he doesn't have to worry about. And now I feel like he might feel like he has to worry about me.
What do you feel like he could have? Is there anything you feel like he could have done to make it, to feel like, to lessen that burden? Could he have said something, have done something? Just interested. We don't even have to go there.
I don't think so.
We don't have to take this there.
I don't think, because I do feel safe with him, so it's not that.
Yeah.
So, but it has shifted where I feel like he perceives me. Maybe, but it's just me. It's not like he's over there going, now I got to worry about you. Yeah. He didn't say any of those things.
Because to me, that's your status.
But I'm assessing the threat. I'm assessing what has changed now. Mm-hmm. What's the threat? What am I safe? Whatever. I don't actually not feel safe. But
because to me, that's your status.
Yeah,
that's your status. Status is about you and your team, your social standing, your sense of relative importance. It's very easy to trigger. So, and it's inadvertently, it can cause someone's status to be triggered very inadvertently.
And that goes back to needs.
Right.
Which needs drive your values.
Yep.
Which drive your behavior.
Yep.
So why we're embarrassed for others to see us eat large amounts? We already know the behavior doesn't match our values. So we don't want them to see it.
Right.
Or what they perceive, what we think we want them to perceive our values are.
Yes. Which is cognitive dissonance.
Most people who feel embarrassed are not unaware. I mean, I was aware I had that much to eat on that day. But internally, there's often a quiet thought, this isn't how I want to eat. I wouldn't choose this if I felt calm, because I wasn't eating that much because I was actually physically hungry for that much.
Yeah.
I was mentally trying to satiate something, but it wasn't physical hunger. It wasn't like my stomach was growling for that food.
Right.
This doesn't align with who I want to be. And all of that is cognitive dissonance, was what you just said. So when behavior conflicts with the identity, that shame is what emerges, which it's just being seen. Someone seeing it intensifies it, which goes to the, why would I ever take a donut to the bathroom stall and eat it without anybody seeing me? Why would I ever eat these things in my house without Randy being there for him to see me shovel 4 protein bars in my, I'm just.
Yeah. Because you don't want people to see you. It's
or
shame.
When I eat it, tell me why I hid the wrappers underneath other stuff in the garbage that day.
Because it's still physically visible in the end on our bodies.
Yeah. Because what if I did that for 10 days in a row?
It shows up. It will show up.
It
you
shows
can't
up.
Hide it.
Yeah, you can't. Not physically. You can at first.
Yeah.
But you can't. Mentally, the shame is deep.
Yeah.
And I think shame and guilt can really keep people from moving forward on this journey in a big way that we don't talk about enough. And it shows up in different. So social evaluation triggers a threat response. Humans are wired to ask, what does this say about me? Mm-hmm. When he saw that, what does this say about me? Mm-hmm. When people saw me getting 3 containers of ranch, what does this say about me?
Yep.
When people see me getting 8 bags of fries, not that that's what I got, what does this say about me? Eating large quantities publicly can trigger a fear of being labeled as out of control, lazy, gluttonous, undisciplined. And when you're already 355 pounds, it's not like you're hiding it. People can see that.
Yeah.
Whether or not anyone is actually judging is irrelevant. The brain assumes the social risk, which is what you're saying here with this scarf model. That activates the amygdala, not logic.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, there's actually a part of our brain. It's called I'm trying to find it because I never remember this. It's the anterior
Cingulate cortex.
Yes.
Yep.
Gosh, you're so good.
I know about this one.
Yeah. So it actually it lights up the same. It's the same region of our brain. It lights up when we experience physical pain and emotional pain. It lights up the same way. So whether it's physical or emotional, it lights up. It doesn't know the difference.
Nope, it has no idea.
So that embarrassment is the same. It experiences it the same way as if you were in physical pain.
And I'm going to say something, and I probably shouldn't because I don't know it all the way, but I believe it is the anterior cingulate cortex that also is highly driven with memory. So, and I'll probably, maybe we put in the show notes what it actually is, but your brain will pull up the memory of something that relieved or was emotionally regulating for you at a time. So if you had this cupcake and it made you feel better that one time when you were 10, and you feel bad after this one conversation you just had with a friend that you never wanted to have, you had to tell them something, and you feel bad, your social connection is threatened, you being fitting in with this tribe is threatened. Now you need to emotionally regulate. Well, that part of your brain, the anterior cingulate cortex, goes to that memory that you had when you were 10. Well, this one cupcake, this actually helped you feel better this one time, and boom. That's the only thing you can think about because it's there to help you. It's there to say, go have this because it'll make you feel better immediately.
Yep. I'll solve it. I know how to do it. Here you go. I have the answer.
And you do get a dopamine hit when it's within 60 seconds when you eat something like that. Which is
trying to help.
It is. Your brain is actually there to help you.
Yeah.
We just have to regulate not with food. We have to learn, and this is where we can lean into the neuroscience and neuroplasticity to learn something new. We have to catch ourselves in that moment. And you might only have a brief period of time to make a different decision to turn towards putting ice or something cold on your face, which is what will also release dopamine. Going for a 5-minute walk, having a conversation with somebody. Now, this also might not produce as much dopamine as the dang cupcake does, but the more you do it, the more your brain will start to
get into that other groove.
Yes. That other memory.
Yes.
It will start to go, okay, well, this does help. So let's show them this instead of the cupcake.
Right.
You have to do it. Then you have to do it again. Then you have to do it again. Then you have to do it again. And your brain, you have to start to give your brain the evidence that this is what you can turn to help emotionally regulate. Yeah. Food has become like that private emotional regulation.
And be patient with yourself because the avoidance or threat response is much faster than the reward response.
Say it again.
So the avoidance or threat response is much faster than the reward response. And that's because of survival.
Yeah.
So when you think of back in the day, you're out in the wild and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a threat. I need to run away or I need to fight. Like that's that limbic system, right?
It's brief.
Yeah, it's quick. I mean, we're talking like milliseconds, like flashes of time. But to go to a reward, it's so much slower. So when you think of that threat and you think of that cupcake that you were just talking about, that's going to go really, really fast. Yeah. And to go to like an ice cube that you mentioned, it's going to come much slower.
Yeah. So your brain's like, this isn't going to cut it.
Yeah. Be very patient with it. I just wanted to throw that out there.
I think that's really important
because some time.
It won't feel like it's hardly even working.
Yeah.
But it actually is. It is just slower.
Sometimes some resilience techniques like take a deep breath.
Breath work.
Lift your shoulders up and just take a deep breath and let it out and just give it a moment. Just do some resilience techniques and some breath work to help yourself out. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I just think for many people, eating large amounts of food is relief. It's comfort. It's numbing. It's self-soothing. I mean, those are intimate nervous system acts. You're just trying to fix them. You're just trying to feel different, better in your body, disassociate in some way. I mean, being observed doing that is like, well, you're watching me cope with this. Mm-hmm. What was him seeing those logs? He's seeing me cope with something. It's very vulnerable.
Right.
It's almost like I gave him a blueprint to kind of what was going on in my head by him looking at my logs. It was almost like I was handing over my personal diary.
Right.
In a sense.
Because there's a reason why.
It's exposing.
Yeah, there's a reason why we are all overeating, and there's a reason why we're eating the wrong foods, and we all need to figure that out. And I'm sure he knows there's a reason why, whether we're saying that or not. Mm-hmm. And it's very vulnerable.
He even asked me, he's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What do I need to do? What do I need to say?
And you probably said,
nothing.
I don't know.
I said, I was like, nothing. I just, there's stress at work.
But there's something, and he knows that.
Yeah. And it's not anything crazy. It's just enough that I overate.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I was going back to old patterns to
cope,
get relief with something.
Yeah.
Which he was right to say, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
He handled it really well.
He did. And then, I mean, we fear someone will see the pattern. It's often not about the protein bars or the meal that you overate or the day you overate or the week you overate. And I think this is why a lot of people will hide when they start to gain the weight back, or they're not losing the weight in the weight loss group that they're in. Mm-hmm. They're not seen as somebody who's making forward progress. It's the fear of they'll notice how often I eat. Mm. It's the fear of they'll connect this to my body. It's the fear of they'll know something is wrong. So this embarrassment is really fear of being seen accurately before we're ready to be seen.
And I think in the SCARF model, that's that relatedness piece.
It totally is.
Yeah.
And scarcity plus secrecy amplify the behavior. When food has that moral weight of I'm bad or it's good or it's on plan, it's off plan, which I feel like on and off plan is a little less moral seeking of the food, but I still think it has a tone of morality to it that I'm still trying to play with. Cheating. Oh, this is the last time. Eating becomes, how many times have you gone to, and eat something so fast?
Yes.
Just so fast.
Yeah. So
like,
nobody sees.
And me and Randy still do this. Like we'll joke. We'll be in and out here in 30 minutes. Watch. Mm-hmm. I bet they're like, oh God, did you see how fast that couple ate? Like we're like competition eating. Sometimes we're so fast. Portions can grow. Like we call it scope creep at work. It's quantity creep. 100 grams becomes 110 grams, becomes 120 grams, becomes, this looks like a half a cup. Like you stop even measuring in grams and being as exact as you once were. And then privacy, being private with the eating increases the urgency of how much can I get in before someone sees me. I mean, this is why people eat in the cars. They eat in the bathrooms. They hide the wrappers. And I'm laughing because there's so many times where I'll actually hide the wrappers under things, or I'm like, that's not good enough. I'm just going to take this bag out, even though there's hardly anything in the bag. I've totally done that before, even recently. Or you wait until you're alone. Not because necessarily you want to, but because secrecy temporarily reduces the shame, because nobody can see me do this. Then there's this state-dependent decision-making. In high emotional seasons or loads, your rational planning goes offline. That's when your brain goes to the limbic system from the prefrontal cortex. So if you're in the prefrontal cortex, and I remember that because if you're in front of something, that prefrontal cortex is where you make the decisions. You think of long-term planning. You remember the goals you want. You know, you can start to connect that this food's going to make me feel like absolute trash tomorrow, and I don't want to do that. But if you go into the limbic system, that's when you come offline from the prefrontal cortex. So that rational planning just goes offline. Urgency starts to dominate, and then all you can think about is the relief. The relief becomes the goal. It's like once your brain goes into the limbic system from that prefrontal cortex, you just get the tunnel vision and you can't see anything else but your way to the cupcake or the candy bar or whatever it is that is not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then later, when the nervous system does begin to calm down and you have scratched the itch or calm something, the self-awareness returns. And then so does the embarrassment. And then the shame and the guilt comes back in. And then it's just this cycle, this loop of, and then that leads to more overeating. And so we get to decide which track we want to be on. Are you going to be on the track that feels mundane and sluggish, where you just get up and you eat the meals that you said you were going to eat and drink the water and get the sleep and get the 10,000 steps a day and the movement you want? Or are you going to be on the one that is the different loop where the scale goes up? Is a desired identity that isn't being overweight. It's the identity is that I am someone who can have a normal, I'm going to say normal amount of calories and not an excessive. Maybe normal is not the great word, but I don't need to have an excessive amount of calories for my body. The system just, maybe I haven't decided fully yet about something, or maybe I'm not fully supported in some way. Maybe my environment needs to change to really help me. Maybe the chips that hadn't been on the counter for a long time now have started to come back out on the counter, and seeing things can start to, for things to creep back in. I mean, the whole idea is to not have to feel like you need secrecy for this. The need for secrecy needs to disappear.
Absolutely. I think if you keep it a secret, then you don't have the ability to look at it, reassess it. Because if you don't do that, then it stays a secret and you're never going to fix it.
And you can't work with it in a different way. So I guess it's really just when you do feel like you want to do something in secret, that's the moment to turn and get curious about it and work with it in a different way.
That's the trigger. Until next time, stay curious.
Keep experimenting.